First and foremost, before I get started with my lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rikah Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that do this work in truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video will be edifying and to the point. Alright, just a quick hit, alright, on this bill C9. Okay, it's basically been passed, alright, in Canada, and they're about to start enforcing it, alright, as of July 19th, I believe it is. That's when it's going to go into full force. So I made a video of this, what was it, the beginning of this year, sometime, maybe around March, when I first heard about it, right? But now, again, they're bringing it into effect, and this is just, news and prophecy, all right, plagues, all right, the Lord basically, famine of the word, all right. So let's go here to, let's see, Amos chapter 8, verse 11, and it says, "Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the word of Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And that in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst." All right, so the scripture is saying again, all right, in the land, what they're gonna seek, all right, to try to find the Lord. All right, when it says from sea to sea, it's talking about from, all right, nation to nation. All right, people are going to be searching, all right, for the word, for the understanding, all right, by going to these different denominations, all right, Christian, Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, all right, Muslim, all right, all of these, the congregation going to start to go to the pastors, but they're not going to have the answers, okay, and then that's when it's going to dawn on them that the men that were preaching and teaching on the streets, all right, on the highways and the byways, all right, also, all right, on, all right, the internet, all right, the World Wide Web, that they were actually telling the truth, all right, but it's going to be too late, all right, and then that's when they're going to know, as the scriptures say, that a prophet had been among them, all right, and, the prophets are basically going to have to go into hiding, all right? They're going to have to lay low, all right, because of, all right, the draconian laws that they're going to place, all right, against the truth, all right? And after that, the persecution as well, all right? There was a woman that I had seen, it was on a TikTok video, and they basically was talking about how basically their government prosecuted her for posting a Bible verse. She ended up winning the case, but she had posted a Bible verse about how the Lord, all right, made man and woman, and that man and man, or woman and woman, all right, shouldn't be together. All right, she said that disrupts the natural order of things, and that's not how the Lord set it up to be. All right, and they came knocking at her door, all right, because of that post. So expect the same thing, all right, for the men of the Lord, man. All right, they're going to be prosecuted, brought before judges, senates, all right, for the word of the Lord, all right. So let's continue. All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 9. And it says, "And the salt water shall be found, and the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall will hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into the secret chambers. All right, because all right, the salt water going to the sweet, talking about the mixing of the water. All right, because not only the Lord is gonna, you know, it's not only gonna be a famine of the word, but it's also gonna be an actual famine of food and water. All right, so these resources like water, all right, the salt water is gonna be mixed within the sweet, which is the water that's actually drinkable. All right, so the Lord's gonna bring actual famine out here as well too, of water, of thirst. But it says then shall wilt hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into her secret chamber. So, you know, once things start to get hectic out here, all right, when that chaos and it's chaotic and, all hell's breaking loose out here, all right, the elect are going to be, all right, as pilgrims upon the earth, all right, they're going to be hiding themselves, all right, from the danger, all right. The scripture say a righteous man foreseeth the evil, he foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So there's going to be a command by the elder eventually where he's going to say, hey, it's time, basically to, stop going on the highways and the byways and stop teaching. The works has been done. And at that point, all right, the doors of mercy is pretty much closed, man. All right. Verse 11, it says, and shall be sought of by many, and shall be sought of by many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon them. Okay, reading verse 10 again, and it says, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. All right, so unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. When you go into that word incontinency, all right, it means to basically fulfill your heart's desire. Okay, to be uncontrollable. All right, so people in that day, all right, are gonna be uncontrollable. All right, they're gonna do whatever they want to. All right, kind of like whenever in Second Ezra's, all right, chapter 15, when it speaks about how the course of their actions shall stand in their hand. All right, so that's what that's talking about. All right, the course of their actions shall stand in their hand. They're gonna be doing whatever they want to do. All right, that's why it says unrighteousness, all right, will be multiplied in the earth. All right, because there's gonna be no one to stop people from doing what they want to do. Okay, and then that's when the prophets are gonna go into hiding. All right, be as pilgrims upon the earth. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 26. And it says, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are rebellious house. That's right. So, at that point, we just going to be shutting up at that point now. All right, the doors of mercy are closed, so, there's no reason to, all right, try to give these people the word when they clearly was, rebellious. All right, they were rebellious to the word of the Lord. All right, they were rebellious to, all right, listening, all right, and coming back and repenting to the Lord. All right, now, all right, the prophets are just going to shut their mouths. All right, and leave them, basically dying of thirst, which is the rivers of living water. All right, the word, the scriptures. All right. Let me grab this last one and I'm going to end it on out. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 1. And it says, "But the soul of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and that the portrait is taken from misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction. But they are in peace, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet in their hope, yet is their hope full of immortality." So, we're killed all the day long. We're talked about, scoffed at, all right, by our family, all right, people on the highways and the byways. It seems like we're just doing this for no reason, all right. But when the Lord really starts to pour out those judgments, all right, it's going to be shown that the Lord has really been with us the whole time, all right. All right, like they say, the greatest underdog story, all right, is yet to be told, and it's going to be told pretty soon, all right. So it says, "For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet their hope is full of immortality," because ultimately, all right, we're going to be brought before, all right, senators and judges or whatever the case may be, all right, for the sake of the word of the Lord. And it's going to seem like, oh man, they did all of this for nothing, all right. But in actuality, the victory is already won, all right. The victory is already written down. It's already in the script, and we just got to play it out and walk through it and be found faithful. So again, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm going to end it on out on this. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Yakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that do this work in truth and sincerity. Until the next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.